Alpha OneTV, and all the latest updates in our session go be a like and a share. Number one, you say the binti, so be a big updated, no be a song with you could be answered by the infinitum. Now you have to find the Niachim or Parliament House and Hano, and I just say a year majority leader, Mahama Ayariga. Anytime be a no Afenyo can try to beat my holding in neck. Now, so no, a year this man is full of intelligence. We name day. So anytime be a Afenyo can cry the respect in the Emano. The NPP, my mind not leader cry the respect man at the more chance way. And ne a year Mahama Ayariga Babontin, more KTZ a year the NPP MPC power case. You people try to introduce the road to. And so they say no more time cool, more regime. You have lost the majority. You just a munifi. Now, all can we the mean will say, Mahama, dream papa won't the terminal per se acquaint no, or side the road to ba. Na and no NPP for true politics and hypocrisy. From we as you say, meanwhile, or say no more person come on the banquet, Mahama Ayariga.
About the Common Fund Administrator and then Get Fund Administrator coming here, I will check with them. I'm sure they are our appointees and they can come here and then account to us at any time. We just need to be clear on what the agenda is so that they can have advance notice to prepare. If it is about the releases and whether they have released and etc., I can check on those ones and I can relay the information to honorable colleagues. As for the question of whether or not there will be road tolls reintroduced by this government, I'm surprised that this matter is being raised by my colleagues opposite because they hurriedly suspended the law. And I recall that in the dying days of their regime, they were making frantic efforts to reintroduce road tolls. Unfortunately, they didn't have the capacity and numbers in this house to do it because they had lost their majority in the house and the house couldn't sit and it became impossible to reintroduce the road tolls. Otherwise, the NPP government, frantically tried very hard. They made serious efforts to reintroduce road tolls because road tolls are not bad. Road tolls are not bad. Road tolls are necessary for ensuring that we maintain the roads. And Ghanaians have been complaining because the roads are not being maintained. And the roads are not being maintained because the arrangements Ghanaians made for maintaining their roads was jettisoned, abandoned, because some people wanted to use it as a bargaining chip to introduce electronic levy. And they introduced electronic levy, which failed. And then also they had deprived Ghanaians of their road tools that were used to maintain their roads, and the roads are getting damaged and need to be maintained. And so I will not be surprised if it comes anytime soon, but we have never shied away from our conviction that road tolls are necessary for the maintenance of our roads. And so I can't give you any specific time, but it is not something that is totally unforeseen. I hope I have captured most of the issues. If I have left out any other issue, I can be reminded. So, Mr. Speaker, those are my responses. Mid-year budget, I think that in due course, the finance minister would let us have an indication when the mid-year budget is going to come. I think that we are mid-year now, and so anytime in July, I think in July it will come. I wasn't at the last cabinet meeting, so in July, I'm told by my one of my ministers who was in attendance that perhaps in July we will have the mid-year budget presented to us. I mean, it will be recalled that because of the elections and the time when ministers were sworn in, the budget itself did not come at the time that it normally would have come to this house for approval. The budget came much later than normally would have been the case, and therefore it is understandable if in June it is still not ready for us to present the mid-year budget. Thank you.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to also thank the Leader of the House for presenting the business for the ensuing week. However, I have some few observations that I would propose for consideration for the ensuing week. Mr. Speaker, on Wednesday, the 11th of June, there was this publication by Ghana Health Service to the effect that we have now recorded 85 infections with respect to this Mpox disease. And according to them, there was an earlier reported case of 34. And these were reported across 10 regions. Indeed, the Ghana Health Service has urged the public to remain alert and report symptoms of such cases, and they've outlined symptoms as fever, rash, headache, muscle pain, swollen limb, and all. Mr. Speaker, I would want to humbly suggest to our respected colleague who also leads us in this house to program the health minister to appear before us next week to brief the house. Such briefing would also help us in our subsequent engagement with our constituent, because it's a major health concern, and I pray that this appeal finds favor with him. So, Speaker, the second issue has to do with the trade ministry. So, Speaker, the Honorable Finance Minister in his budget statement announced that the policy of 1D, 1F has been cancelled. We have not heard of any policy replacement for the private sector. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, according to Africa Exponents, a report they published recently, Ghana is the 8th among Africa's top 10 manufacturing countries. And this report indeed highlighted the sustained focus on the value-added manufacturing we've achieved in agriculture and cocoa, as well as the impact of the 1D, 1F initiative in promoting SME growth. So I believe that though the 1D, 1F has been done away with, at least the impact has been acknowledged globally, with the government's intent to support the private sector. If there is clarity on the policy for the private sector, then there would be some certainty in encouraging investment into the country. So, Mr. Speaker, government alone cannot absorb the many graduates coming from the universities, and a proactive step by government will help. I therefore would want to urge Majority Leader to program our colleague, the Trade Minister, to come provide clarity on alternative policies government has introduced or is introducing for the private sector, just to encourage investment in our economy. Mr. Speaker, I shall have a last point also for the day. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Energy and Green Transition or what's the other one? Very well. Minister of Energy. I want to get a full rendition. And Green Transition. Very well. I wanted to be sure. Mr. Speaker, our respected colleague who is the Minister for Energy and Green Transition recently announced in Parliament that his ministry is going to undertake some major reforms at ECG. Mr. Speaker, for me, having served as the chair of that institution for some few months, it comes as a good news because oftentimes costs is offloaded to consumers or users of power. And we know of major inefficiencies in that field. Announcement was made in respect of the loss reduction program, and he talked about it, that the loss reduction program is going to be pursued vigorously. I again would appreciate if the minister is programmed to update this house on this very important matter. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the power sector, we cannot treat it as NPP NDC affair. And I say so with a lot of passion. Many people use the power that we pay without paying. I came across a report, and it was alarming that about 30% or even less of Ghanaians, households and industry pay for the power we consume. Yet, we often play politics with the issue. When the burden is on central government, then we reduce it to partisan politics. I think that the time has come for us to support the position taken by the minister. And the only place to give an update is this house. After all, he came to make this announcement before us that he's going to pursue certain measures to help deal with those who are not paying power for electricity, and that would mean tariffs should go up.
We say for him, Ayariga ni atini kano. Na webibi ni mene so kama ami yehu de bekoso the following week. Acheche ni ye kama papa. Ami yehu say this government, 1, or your listening government, 2, or vision, 3, or your leader, a man for GND, 4, or your beer, obitimi, a reset Ghana. I just say near my pen because I'm one of their motto say building the Ghana that we the Ghanaians we want. Near the politicians for the pay. The way Mahama AC Bunamemono. Will you be a why do you say you are in some public office? Unless you are more appointment be. That's will be issues our office in the DCK. Say in future as a power system so be fucking. Didn't ya? Because or no the way I always see prosecute NPP form a digan esikano and yas and petua. And near she goes names APP. She ni papa dream bonny pa winnie pendream. Allegedly sikapa ni pa kakre bi afa aden mom milky Ghana for see and movie a massa babontin yeni epe Ghana ye yeni bit my Ghana ye Mahama di went me Ghana ye oh manim guaguasi tinye ura true age and I say a OSP John Dramani Mahama woni aso bedi agro OSP npa ba ko pego ntimi no kenofrato yawan afena attorney general de na Kesi ni mu bi because we jama na obene na ho saa nkwesi hwe okasa keke without any action ye no ready ntapo me declare ne hwe ni kasasa because oyankona oye do betimi ne breso anoko to do betimi anoye no yes we take action do betimi anoye no that's why our office no person you the omuyifiro so these people no near my bema Ghana in first of all no ma say no this new government episode or ye introducing near maybe to my Ghana ya reset ya near mata fefe no omuzo teach no mutuzo boba park no so person mo say no mo paint pictures if say Mahama na enye Ghana ye Mahama say Ghana and so hwe ni ngwase baba to so against mo obi na obi save mo first kanembra wa fa Ghana sika ne fa bra na wonto because o many hiska ntimi ko bobosia bebrebe si na mu ntimi nkyere ade poti amodis kana ye mi nja amasa akwa mamunko because bosia mabono ye hu de amudi aye o ye hu bosia eye o mampanyimfo bebre o maba o mabobo no mu itimi ka so mu de aye na so endromu de no ho ba bia as more than the so where is the money? That is why we are a juma. For beyond one channel, da to new amount of noise and be making a prosecution stop you. That was part of the reason why John Dramani Mahama, a president, Ora no declare say or ba obi bia wafa or mine sika kwan boneso. I be can brofo say loot no. All loot no ma fanu nyina no san go no fa loot from looters no e be recover say can be retrieve says can no can be ntini ye to abama no nti eye majority leader na che say was school NPP MPC na as a go many mass ya che say ya ti ho asan bitima che adwa na the comment section subscribe na share ma nu aso de nya binti Alpha OneTV Akroma.